Welcome back. Hopefully we're going to have a little bit of fun today. A somewhat educational video, I hope. And this is actually going to be an extension of about 3 other videos I've done recently. Most recently I did a video talking about this little horse and the saddle, how well it fits her and how it, is a solution to a lot of problems. I also made a little joke about how I could probably even ride this thing without a cinch. It fits so good. Well, I'll get to that because it's not a joke anymore. Also, I did a video not long ago about proper mounting techniques, and I wasn't convinced that I could do it, and I wasn't sure I had a horse that would be good to demo on. And until we discovered shortly after that this saddle fits on this horse. And prior to that even, I did a video featuring this saddle where I talked about proper saddle fit on the horse that I bought this saddle for. And I want to talk about some of the things that make saddle fit important, and I mentioned in the last video I did with this one is how the saddle was really odd that this Arabian saddle fit on this little horse like a glove. I mean, it really does fit well. Back up to my mounting video, I said that the best methods that I recommended involve, putting your hand over the neck, the other one over the seat, keeping it low, and putting as little weight as possible into that stirrup when you're getting up so you don't pull on the saddle. I also said that if you do it right, it is actually possible to get on without a cinch. Well, today you will see, that's the latigo, but there's no cinch there. It's actually hanging up on the other side. I haven't even got it dangling down, so you can't see it over there. But there's no cinch there. And I'm going to attempt, I did it once before, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it, but I started thinking about how well this saddle fits on this horse, and I thought, I'd like to give it a try and see if it actually works. So I thought I'd give it a whirl and see what happens. So I'm going to do it again, and if all goes well, you're going to get to see me get on a saddle without a cinch, if I do it right. Now, before anybody says anything, I'm cheating a little bit here with this horse because she's not very tall. But she happens to be the best suited for this particular task, even though she's actually not really, really well experienced and educated when it comes to riding, because I don't think she's even got 25 hours on her back, but she's still, out of all the ones I got, the best one for the task. And it's an example of how important good saddle fit is when it comes to mounting as well, because if the saddle fits properly, this is possible to get on without a cinch. If you can't do it, chances are that saddle isn't fitting that good in the first place. You might want to investigate a little better. And that's also one of the other things I mentioned before about how I use a fairly thin saddle pad on this one. And that actually adds to the fit, because the thicker the saddle pad, the more shifting you can have. And I've actually seen some where they'd actually put a fairly thick saddle pad and a blanket on the horse. I don't know why. I asked them why they did it, and they said it was because they saw their riding instructor do it. Makes me question the riding instructor. But anyhow, the thinner it is, the better your saddle will fit. And in the case of this one, that saddle sticks on there real nice with a thin pad. And originally, the only reason you put anything underneath the saddle in the first place was just to keep the saddle clean. That's why many years ago the cowboys started putting blankets underneath, because blankets are relatively easy to wash, a whole lot easier to keep clean than the underside of the saddle. And then we evolved to using pads, and now we got all kinds of fancy schmancy pads that you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on. And I don't think that's a good idea, but anyhow. So to demonstrate proper mounting techniques, we are going to, like I said, no cinch. And hopefully if I do this right, it's going to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab hold of the reins like I said it's a good idea to have a hold. This particular horse, I could probably not even hold on to him, but I'm going to anyhow, just for the purpose of demonstration. I'm going to do, like I said in the other video, I'm going to put my hand over the neck. So I'm actually grabbing on the off side of her neck. I'm using her neck to pull myself up. My right hand is going to go over the low spot on the saddle. And she's a little too relaxed here. Okay, that's better. Now with my hand there and there, my two hands, one on the neck, one on the low spot on the saddle, and I'm going to use my right leg to kind of bounce myself up. And if I do this right, there we go. No cinch. Well, there you have it. Not only can we mount without a cinch, we can actually ride without a cinch too. And the trick is keeping your weight in towards the horse as close as possible and kind of center it over the saddle when you're getting on and off. You don't want to be pulling on that saddle, but I just wanted to, I'll show you again. No cinch there. And just in case you don't believe me, see? No cinch there. Well, now I've got to put this thing somewhere. Back in a minute. But that is the importance of good saddle fit and proper mounting techniques. That particular saddle came up as a bit of a surprise to me. I'd basically given up riding this horse, but I discovered that one actually fits very well. And if I do use mounting techniques that I endorse and I do it properly, in spite of the fact I'm not young and athletic, I can still do it. I can still mount that saddle and even ride without a cinch. And ideally, if you're doing things right, you should be able to. Now, like I said, don't get discouraged if if you can't get on without a cinch. And two things that are required to be able to get on without a cinch is, well, first off, you need a pretty good little horse. In spite of the fact this is not a been there, done it horse. She's a pretty good little horse. Second thing you need, a saddle that actually fits well. Now, if you got a good horse and you're willing to give it a try, if after several attempts you still can't manage to do it right and you're sure you're doing everything the way you're supposed to, you might want to take a closer look at your saddle fit like I suggested earlier. And you never know, that might actually solve a lot more problems than you realize, not just your ability to get on this horse, but overall comfort for the horse. And a happy horse may solve a lot of behavioral problems because occasionally, not always, but occasionally, poor fitting tack, poor fitting saddles can actually cause a lot of problems with your horse that we would attribute to other things, sometimes just behavioral. Most of the time it actually is. But occasionally, every once in a while, you get a particularly sensitive horse with an opinion, and if that saddle doesn't fit real good, they might have something to say about it. So there you go, proper mounting techniques and the importance of good saddle fit. If that saddle fits good, you can actually, if you use proper mounting techniques, you can get on your horse without a cinch and even ride it, and I just proved both. And I'm not the best, believe me. There's other guys who can probably do that trick a whole lot better than I can. So, but I just thought I'd share that one with you. I couldn't resist the temptation on that one. Have a good day.